Hey everybody, Nick here. Welcome to M3 Online. We are going to do a quick gentle yoga class just to kind of get into the spine and get a little bit of stretching done. So we're going to start in a comfortable cross-legged position. And you can take any position that feels nice for you. It might be helpful to sit up on a blanket, pillow. And roll your shoulders up and then back and down. And take a few cleansing breaths in and out. Maybe lengthening your exhales nice and slow. Big breath in. And the long breath out. One more time like that. Big breath in. And the long breath out. And inhale, sweep your arms out and up. Exhale, drop your right hand down to the mat and reach your left arm over to the side. And firm your left hip down into the ground by pushing your right hand into the earth as well. And keep reaching. And inhale, come back up. And exhale, other side, and dropping your left hand, reach your right arm over. Push into the ground. And firm your right hip down. And inhale, come back up. And take a gentle twist towards the right. Your left hand grabs right thigh, bringing your right arm behind you. And use your left hand to pull your heart through, and then pull both shoulder blades on the back. And firm your belly. And inhale, come through center, reach up. And exhale, take a gentle twist to the opposite side. Same thing, pull the heart through using your hand. Broaden your collarbones. And try to grow long through the crown of your head. And take another inhale. And twist a little bit more on the exhale. And inhale, come up through center. And exhale, your hands down. Switch the cross of your legs so the opposite leg's on top. It may feel awkward at first. It does for me. Bring your hands behind you and push into the ground, but lift your sternum up towards the sky. Go back and forth here, getting into the shoulders, the chest. And then bring your hands in front of you and take a gentle fold over your legs. You can push into the ground to firm your hips down, pulling your hip creases back in space, growing long from hip crease to armpit. And slowly come back up and find hands and knees. My sunglasses. Don't need those right now. Who knew they were even in there? Your hands under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. And lift your tailbone, drop your belly, and then drop your chest. And then pull your chest through your shoulders and look up for cow pose. And then we'll reverse that, lengthening tailbone under, lift belly, lift chest, and drop the chin, push into the ground for cat pose. And then we'll go back and forth between those two. So cow pose, belly, chest drops, look up, tailbone lifts. And exhale, reverse all of that, rounding into the spine. Go back and forth between these two. Maybe adding movement that might feel nice. You can start to side bend. You can pause in one of those shapes. You can take some barrel rolls of the chest, make big circles, and then reverse the direction. And from here, find a little bit of stillness. And track your left knee back a little bit. And tend your right fingertips up. Hug your right knee to chest, and then place your right foot in between your hands. You can take as many hops as you need to with the foot. And just kind of lift your chest up here. And then interlace your hands on top of your right thigh. And activate your outer hips, squeeze them in for stability. And then sink your hips forward. Lift your chest up. And tone your left hip more forward. And take an inhale. And exhale, sink forward just a little bit more. One more time like that. Inhale. Exhale, sink forward. And inhale, lift your chest. And exhale, drop your hands down to the ground. And work your right foot a little bit more forward than where it is. You might need to place your hands on blocks or books, whatever you have to prop you up. And straighten your right leg, flex your right foot, and walk your hands back. And firm the muscles of your right thigh so that your right kneecap lifts. Lift your chest up for a moment and drive your right heel down into the ground. Then exhale, just fold over your right leg. Ardha Hanumanasana. And keep thinking about this sitting bone, your right sitting bone, lifting it up towards your lower back. Breathe. And take another inhale. And round a little bit more on the exhale. And inhale, slowly lunge forward. And plant your hands and step back to your tabletop position. And just shake your hips from side to side. And bring your left foot through. And take that little lunge to lift the chest up. Take as many hops as you need to. And then come up, interlace your hands on top of your thigh. Lift your chest up. And keep firming your right hip forward so this hip is less out and more forward. With each inhale, lift the chest. With each exhale, sink your hips forward. Lifting the chest and sinking forward. One more time, lift the chest and sink it forward. And one more inhale. And exhale, drop the hands. Work your left foot a little bit more forward. And then straighten your left leg, send your hips back. Try to stack your right hip on top of the knee. Walk your hands back, and again, you can use props here if you need to. Lift your chest up, and then fold over your leg. Think about lifting your left sitting bone high, and squeezing your outer hips in. Find a softness in your spine. Take an inhale and an exhale. Inhale and an exhale. Inhale, lunge back forward. And plant your hands and bring your back knee back, or front knee back. Shake your hips out. From here, bring your hips on top of your knees and keep them there. And start to walk your arms forward in space, keeping your hips glued where they are. And then sink your chest down towards the ground for puppy pose. And really firm your arms down, but think about sinking your belly towards your thighs and your heart towards the floor. Breathe in here. You can even find some buoyancy in the chest, lifting it up and then bouncing it down, up and down, up and down. And hold that for a few breaths. And start to walk your hands back. Widen your knees about mat width distance apart. Sink your hips back for child's pose. You can rest your forehead on the ground, or you can make a little bit of pillow with your hands. Take a few breaths there. Just tuning into subtle sensations of these gentle movements of the body. Walk your hands over to your right. Take a side stretch here. Maybe place your left hand on top of the right hand and pull your left hip back. Breathe. Walk your hands through center. Other side. Maybe the right hand comes on top of the left, pulling the right hip back. Some people may be taking this class not familiar with yoga. Other people may take it quite familiar with yoga. And through center. The difference between complexity and simplicity is often experience. And slowly come forward. And cross your ankles and roll over them. Come to a seat. And bring your feet together so that your knees fall apart. And take more of a diamond shape. So a lot of times we'll take this pose with the feet super close to our pelvis. Try to find a diamond shape here. And then roll your pelvis forward. Grab onto your shins or ankles. Lift your chest up. And slowly fold in between your legs. Inhale. And exhale. Breathe in. And fold in. Maybe note a time in your life where complexity turned into simplicity because of your experience. Now I'll invite you in this experience to find neither, to just be in the moment with what is. Whether you're registering it as simple or complex, let go of those associations. And take a moment to be just here in your body. And slowly come back up. And come down to your back. Take some gentle pelvic rocks here. So first, flattening your low back, so lengthening your tailbone towards your heels. Pull your navel down towards the earth. You should feel your core activate a little bit. And then reverse that, increasing the arch in your low back, pulling your tailbone towards your shoulders. Maybe even lifting your sternum up some, a little bit of a back bend. And then roll the sacrum forward, pull the navel in, and then arch. Go back and forth between those two. This can be really helpful for the low back. And just be with what this is. Not simple, not complex. Just pelvic rocks here on your mat. And find some stillness. And cross your right ankle over your left thigh. creating this kind of figure four situation. And take your right hand to your right thigh and push it away, just to stretch. If you want more of a sensation, you can work your left foot closer to your pelvis. And just kind of rock your hips from right to left. Notice where there's a particular tense spot and pause if you find it, and maybe push the arm or hand into the thigh a little bit more. And slowly come up and uncross the foot. And switch sides, left ankle on top of the right thigh, maybe working the right heel in some. And take your left hand, push the leg away. Maybe this side feels different than the other. And honor your body. And rock back and forth. And if you notice a tense area, pause there and breathe into it. And slowly release that. And uncross. Lift your hips up slightly, send them to the right about 6 inches. Let your knees fall over to the left. Glue your right shoulder down, maybe even gaze over your right shoulder. Just take a gentle twist. If you want to intensify the stretch, you're welcome to take your left ankle on top of the right knee. If you took that variation, let the ankle slide off. Lift your knees back up. And center your hips and then send them over towards the left about 6 inches. Let your knees fall over to the right. Maybe gaze over your left shoulder. Maybe bring the right ankle on top of the left knee. And let that slide off. And bring the knees up. Windshield wiper them back and forth. And here, lengthen your left leg forward and hug your right knee in. You can stay there. That might feel like enough of a stretch. You can reach your hand to the outside of your right foot and pull your right knee more towards your armpit for half happy baby. As you pull the foot down, isometrically push the foot up towards the sky. Intensify that stretch. And so now the knee is less into the chest and more to the side of the ribs. If it helps, you can always bend your extended leg, your extended knee. And slow release. Other side, hug the left knee in. You're welcome to stay there or reach to the outside edge of the hand, or excuse me, of the foot. And pull it down to the left armpit. Just breathe into that. Kind of creating a tug of war between the hand and the foot. And take a breath in. A little bit more, maybe pull it down towards the floor. And slowly release that. Let the legs extend. Take a full body stretch. Reach your arms overhead. Interlace your hands. Spin your palms towards the back. Point your toes. Grow long through the side waist. And slowly bring your arms overhead and out to the sides, palms up or down, or take a position that feels comfortable here. For Shavasana. And here, the most simple and yet the most complex pose there is. This place of rest. Instead of associating it as simple or complex, let it breathe just as it is, just as you are. Let experience the journey be your focal point. And stay here as long as you like. This is your Shavasana. It's been lovely spending this time with you. And thanks for practicing with me and M3 Online. Namaste.